Not much difference from yesterday. Ankle's feeling a little better. She was able to do a few things on the court today, and then getting some more treatment. So we'll decide by this afternoon what we're going to put on the injury report. I'd say still kind of day to day.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Is she running, cutting, playing 1-2, 3-on-3, or is it just kind of just going through drills?
Honestly, mostly stuff by herself. But she's at this point in the season. So many of our players are conditioned from games that I'm a little less concerned about it. Especially after coming off the back of a big run of games. So if she can go, she'll go.
Gotcha. How about Natasha? Saw her on the side and slides.
Similar thing, tweaked her ankle yesterday, and I think she wants to play tomorrow. So I think barring a big change, hopefully we'll have her tomorrow night.
She
does want to go.
How has Meng didn't go through a full practice yesterday, right? She kind of just did her own thing or shut around.
She did. She's done like kind of chunks of both practices yesterday and today. But she played 5 games in 7 days, and they were running some 2-a-days. And so we just need to get off an international flight, be smart, and not burn her all out before we get to this stretch of 3 and 5.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So is she fully available?
Yeah, she should be available tomorrow.
Watch her minutes tomorrow.
We haven't really talked minutes, but I think she should be good to go. Yeah.
Going into
Honestly, it's like after we're done with this, I got to go check in and see where everybody's at. Yeah. Yeah.
Going into these last couple before the All-Star break, and I know how you want to win every game.
Yeah.
Everything's important, but is there some emphasis on trying to go into the break on a high note, on a good note? Because I assume it's easier to have that time off coming off a couple wins or a win as opposed to sitting on a little bit of a losing streak.
For sure. I think, we kind of said at the start of practice that, we're in flux a little bit every day right now, people in, people out, but everybody that's in, just do it with full commitment and be more connected, stick together, take these games as their own thing, and then we'll see where we're at after the break. So we get a couple home games in this stretch, which we haven't had in a little while. I think we played 4 out of 5 on the road. So it's everybody just being all in and all invested for these 3 games, and we'll do whatever it takes. It might be some small lineups, big lineups, maybe not big lineups. We don't have that many bigs, but some new faces in the door. We'll get them up to speed and throw them out there, and just go at it with full commitment.
And Queen comes in this afternoon.
She should land in a couple hours. Yeah.
She'll be fully available for
barring something unforeseen. Yes. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Okay.
I just, and we probably talked about it previously, but just talk about how hard it's been with constantly changing people in, people out, new faces coming in and coming out, and how hard has it been to adjust and put together a game plan, especially for tomorrow. You got to play, but despite all of that.
Yeah, it's not easy with all the changes, but we have been in this boat before. And most of the league in some form or another this season has been in this boat. A lot of the teams in the league have hardships. We got to take, it's kind of our turn. This week is a little bit our turn, and then we can get to the break and see where we're at. But it's not new. We've been in this situation a few times over the years. So I think our players have a good understanding of whoever's available that day is just going to give it 100%, and we'll figure out a way to make it work.
I know it's always tough to see anybody leave like Sally happy, and obviously you're addressing these roster moves. Just talk about that, and I'm sure that's always tough on anybody to see anybody come in and out of the door that's contributed to this
I think we've prided ourselves on always trying to get good people here first, and Amanda and Abby were both fit that bill for sure. And so a little bit different situations. Abby knew the deal when she came in that it was going to be a temporary thing, and she handled it really well, and we enjoyed having her. And Amanda was just a little bit of circumstance, and every bit the person we were hoping to get, and we just needed something different on the roster. And the great thing about a trade like that is both teams wanted somebody, so both players were wanted. I think that's it for in person.
Jen? Hey, Eric. Just a couple questions for you about Ariel. What kind of leadership have you seen from her now that she's a captain, right? Anything different than before she kind of took that on?
I mean, we've never really named captains, but she's so steady. She's mature. She was mature when she came in the league, and now she's got the benefit of several years of experience, of USA basketball experience. And so I think she has, in her own mind, felt like she's earned a right to have a voice. And we would have always been happy with her having a voice because she's not one to waste a bunch of words, and not a lot of extra. But I think she feels like, she can make an impact on this team with not just her play, but her leadership. And for her, that's all about being consistent, about being about the right things, about keeping it simple, keeping it to the important stuff. And I think she's one of those people that when she speaks up, the group listens. And that's a really effective leader.
And kind of on a similar note, you mentioned when she came into the league, when you think back to her rookie year, what's something about her that hasn't changed at all from then to now? And what's something that's changed the most?
I think, she was pretty fearless when she came in, and not in a cocky, in your face way, but wasn't afraid to take a big shot, make a big play. She plays through everything. I think that's probably the single trait that seems really simple, but it's hard to find, is somebody who just plays through their own mistakes, through teammates' mistakes, through officiating. They don't change who they are. They keep playing. And something that's changed, I think just as somebody who understands the game and her playmaking and her ability to read defense, she spent a lot of time on that. Defense, most of her stuff is skill stuff. Defensively, not getting clipped by picks and not being on the floor all the time defensively. This year has been a huge improvement, honestly. So when you have somebody that's eager to learn and get better and wants to be coached, it's easy to make improvements. It just takes time and effort, and that's never been an issue for her.
Great. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Eric.
Thanks. See you all tomorrow.
Meng's on her way. All right, we'll start with in-person questions. Sorry, guys, can you unmute real quick? Sorry. Before we start, thank you. Go right ahead.
Go ahead. Sorry, what was it?
我是时差，他是累。
I'm gonna start with you for Slim then.
Yeah.
For you as players, when there's these kind of roster tweaks and folks coming in, out, and injuries and things like that,
Yeah.
is it difficult at this point to adjust, or since you're a vet who's been playing and dealing with this kind of stuff for so long, is it kind of get used to it at some point?
I think it's kind of like what you said, like whereas you experience it in different aspects, and you allow yourself to be human, process it at your own speed, whatever's going on around us. I know for me, with all the recent changes and recent things to our roster or team, actually had mind candy today, and it's our thing, and it was my go, and I basically just say, perception is our reality. So whatever we perceive to be true, that's what initially, like, we're working towards unconsciously, in my opinion. So for us, we just have to make that choice to just continue to come in every day to work, do our job. Whoever we have, we keep going, and those that are coming along, they're coming along. We're not leaving anybody behind, but we also do have to progress forward and continue to figure out how to win with or without pieces or players or coaches. Like, you just never know. Yeah.
That, just follow up on that. The perception is reality thing, is that something that you kind of had lived by for a while? Or
For sure.
kind of new? Or
No.
where did that kind of come from for you?
My college coach, he used to burn that into our heads. Perception is reality, and that you can't control everything in this world, but you can control your attitude, energy, and effort. Those are the two quotes that he used to say to us all the time. And when I was younger, obviously I used to be annoyed because I didn't really understand what it meant to say, you know, the line perception is reality. But now that you get older and you realize everything is a choice and you might not can control an outcome, but you can control how you respond. So that's pretty much codes that I live by on a day-to-day basis.
Last one for you. You know, two games before All-Star, right?
Mhm.
And Eric kind of mentioned just a minute ago, you know, kind of, okay, going into these last two, I'm curious. I know every game's important, every game you want to win,
Mhm.
but is there some emphasis in going into a break on a high note?
Oh, I mean, yeah, for sure. Who wants to go on a break on a low? You know, it's one of those things where you want to sit with the win and not sit with the loss, because now you just marinating, waiting to, you know, get your next game. It's been a hell of a first 16, 17 games, and one of those things where you look at the roster and then you look at the schedule and you go, all right, whoever we got, you know, we got to get it done. That way we can go out on a high note and regroup, get a break, and then start back up again. Because these first, by then 20 games, it came fast. So the next 20 is going to go even faster. And then that goes into playoffs. So we got to prepare. Thanks, man.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
What was the experience like?
就是能够回去，就是为国争光，是我的责任和荣幸吧。
It's my duty and honor to go back and play for the country and play well.
然后而且我们亚洲杯也是突破了历史，然后
We did make history in
很
this.
久没有拿过亚洲冠军了，
We haven't won it in a while.
而且也是我们在世界杯之后阵容不整的情况下，
It is also after the World Cup and our team didn't have our full roster either.
所以我们回去也面临了很多球队上的困难。
So we faced a lot of challenges team-wise when we're back in Asia Cup.
但是我们在比赛中发挥了中国女篮精神，
We did play to the spirits and the principles of the Chinese women's national team
因为中国女篮主打就是团队协作。
because our core playing principle is teamwork
遇到困难永不放弃，
and never give up when you're facing challenges.
所以也想把这种精神带到身边球队里面。
So I also want to bring this spirit and thinking to the Mystics
因为我们现在也面临着球队的一些困难，
because we are also facing challenges team-wise.
所以我们剩下的这些人要不管是打任何一个对手都要全力以赴的，然后永不放弃这种精神。
Yeah, so the rest of us, we need to go all out and never give up when we're playing.
She actually led me there. I was going to ask, is there
When you do it.
are there things that you take from that experience that you do bring back here that you hope, I don't know whether it's implement, but is there carryover from those games?
就你有没有从亚洲杯想要带回来的一些可以带给
就是因为世界杯之后，大家给我们中国女篮起了一个叫无畏金兰的一个，对，
Is that after the World Cup, we are the Chinese women's national team are crowned with the saying that we are wait, we don't have that's a hard word.
这个
Directly.
Yeah, it just means being fearless and we're like kind of women warrior roses that kind of.
所以尤其像现在球队面临的这个困难，我们更加的要团结，然后更加要团队去作战。
So the challenges that we're facing right now, we have to stick together even more and play as a whole as a team.
And last one for me, seems like
Mhm.
how does she feel physically?
I mean,
It's been a lot of games.
Rolex. Rolex.
昨天那个可拉给我治疗，
Call us Pepe, it was treatment.
然后今天早上就画了一个
So true.
可以训练戴的表，然后也能展现我们是一个 Rolex girl。
I didn't know she drew on it, bro. That's wild. Oh, shoot. Nah, wait.
If we are done with in person, we'll go right ahead and take Zoom. Are we done with in person?
Quick one. Brittney, what do you expect from the fever coming in?
What we always expect. I mean, at this point, the league should know, like, there is no team in this league that you can overlook or underplay. And Indiana is one of those teams where if you don't come to play and play your basketball, they will make you play theirs and you will be chasing them all night. So we're expecting them to, do what they did in the first game. They, out hustled us. They out rebounded us. They had an advantage in the paint a little bit. And, we've had some games where we've had to deal with some big. So we've had some practice and we're coming in hoping to change the tide and protect home court just as much as they did when we were in Indiana.
Finally, when Bean comes later today, but what do you expect from her and kind of a lift and how excited are you folks?
Yeah.
Wanting to
Yep.
play with her?
Yeah. I mean, obviously we get somebody who is athletic under the rim. We get somebody who is a rim protector. We get somebody who can finish around the rim, but it also adds athleticism to our roster and our lineup when we're having defensive schemes and having to, guard somebody is such a dominant presence as Aaliyah Boston. We have somebody who can go, pound for pound for her, maybe not size wise, but athleticism can make up for the fact that we are missing size and height, in the paint right now with, Shakira out and, with Deli, everybody, like at this point, you just never know. You never know, it's life, but it just is great that we have Queen coming in and we've talked to her a little bit, so she's excited and we're excited to see her and get her accustomed to how things are going out here and go out and get us some wins with her. No problem. Cats.
Okay, Jen, you're up.
Hi, Slim. Hi, Meng. Welcome back. Meng, starting with you, just following up on the questions about the Asia Cup, I saw that your teammate Han Shu was named MVP. What stood out to you about how she played?
韩旭打法有什么很特殊的吗？在里面？
因为是亚洲杯，所以就是内线的优势比较更大一些。
Because it's American Cup, so we have a lot of advantage in the paint.
所以也特别恭喜他，然后这次在亚洲杯上的表现，
So huge congratulations to Shu for her performance in the Asia Cup.
然后在亚洲杯上发挥了他自己的个人特点，
She really played to her strengths in the Asia Cup.
然后也是我们中国女篮每个人就是付出的努力，都在最后那一刻得到了回报。
We got our reward from the way that every single one of us were playing. We got rewarded with the gold at the end.
Awesome. And Slim, turn into you.
Sorry, I was reading something.
No, all good.
It's just a chart.
All
I'm
good.
sorry, Jim. What's up?
You mentioned mind candy before, and
Mhm.
I've heard your teammates kind of mention it offhand throughout the season.
Mhm.
What is it exactly?
So mind candy is basically like, for me, it's like the thought of the day or wisdom, wisdom piece for the day, but it kind of gets us all in, before we disperse into practice. It's one of those things where whoever has the pick, Eric usually texts us the night before and he's like, hey, you got mind candy. And then you just, it's more of how you feel or how what you deem as important to say out loud. So you get to see every day somebody's different perspective or how they look or how they bring themselves to work and their output. So I really like it. I've enjoyed it. And you get to hear teammates, somebody like Meng, who doesn't really say a lot in practice, but when she did have the opportunity to speak, she, it was amazing what she had said. And it goes for anybody in our circle. So it's really cool and an opportunity for people who you don't necessarily hear talking or yelling in practice. You get to hear their voice. So I really enjoy it.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
great. One more for you. Ariel was saying yesterday that you and her have known each other or known of each other since college, like you guys go back a while. Just curious, is there anything that you've like learned about her or first realized about her now that you're teammates this year, or has it just been, everything you thought?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because she might get on me because I'm saying this, but A is very funny. Like she's one of those people. She's one of those people that you just, if you pay attention enough, she says little things under her breath, or she'll have like a response to something, and you just have to pay attention to her because she's so quiet. And I just walked past her one day in practice, and somebody said something out loud. She said something slick, and I'm like, oh, you're one of those. You're one of those. And she started laughing. She's like, what do you mean? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just quiet. And I'm like, it's just really cool to, from afar, obviously having to guard her. And I even told her, like, it's kind of funny now to being her teammate. I see how poised she is. And I'm like, man, she never cracks. Like I'm guarding her. I'm trying to bother her, never cracks. And then I'm her teammate and I'm still trying to mess with her. And I'm like, damn it, she just doesn't crack. So I admire A and how she carries herself. It's professional, but at the same time, it's like an old head. She's quiet, she stays in the back, but she has this spirit about her that is just very, very peaceful, and I do enjoy being around her. So I'm glad that we could be teammates.
Awesome. I love everything about that. Thank you.
All right, thank you, ladies. Thank you everyone for joining. See you
Thanks.
tomorrow.
Yeah, no, I saw her.
I was gonna ask afterwards, and then I.